Shavua Tov. This is Motzei Shabbat, Parshat VAERA, 5776. I want to share with you, with your permission, something very inspiring that I heard today from Rabbi Krohn at the Young Israel of Teaneck. In this week's Parsha, the Torah tells us that Moshe and Aaron came to Pharaoh, and the Torah says that Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 years old when they stood before Pharaoh. Very interesting information, but who cares? Why is that important? Rabbi Krohn mentioned, Rab Zalman Sorotskin in Oznaim LaTorah points out that in the book of Psalms, in Tehillim, there are 11 psalms that were composed by Moshe Rabbeinu, beginning with Psalm 90. And there it says, Yemei shnotenu behem shiv'im shana, v'im bigvurot shmonim shana. Our lifespan is like 70 years, and with gvura, with strength, 80. Thank God people live older than that today. So here is the author of this psalm saying that 80 is like max out time. And yet, and what is the message here? So Hashem is telling Moshe Rabbeinu, it's not over. In fact, it's just beginning. And there's no retirement age when it comes to serving Hashem. And this is also part of what God's message was to the people. The Jewish people were just in complete despair. V'lo shamu el Moshe. They didn't want to listen to Moshe anymore. They had no hope for the future. And God said, tell them, my name is Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be what I shall be. Not I am what I was. I'm not interested in the past. I'm not interested in how limited you might imagine you could be because of what happened to you in the past. Realize that the options, the opportunities for the future are unlimited. You can become what you want to become. You have to have a dream. You have to be able to see beyond. And that's what God says, that's what I want. And when Moses complains, so tell the people that there is a future. And that's what is important. And they can be something beyond their wildest imagination, because that's what's going to happen to them. And as far as you, Moshe Rabbeinu complains to Hashem, Rabbeinu, me? I'm going to be a leader? I'm a shepherd. I haven't accomplished very much in my life. There's almost nothing great about Moses, really, written in the Torah. He didn't have such great accomplishments. So God says, and you think that you have no potential? You think that now you're 80 years old, the time is, go retire in Florida, and it's time to spend time with the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren? It's time to wrap up completely? Not at all. Ehyeh is a message for you also, Moshe. Life is just beginning. So it's never too late. This is a phenomenal message that comes through from the Parsha. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, of course, emphasizes very much, never give up. The Torah says that even if a person sinned and lived a wicked life all his years, and he repents at the last minute, comes back to God, God accepts him. How much more so is it the case of a person who's tried over and over and over again to make something of himself, to make something of herself, to make a new start. These are all very precious to Hashem, and one should never give up. Like if you had an assignment to break down a wall, and you use the sledgehammer and you bang and you bang and you bang and you say, oh, the wall's not falling down. You don't give up. It takes time before you break through. It takes time before a person breaks through with efforts. It takes time before a person breaks through with prayer. And so a person has to never give up. Just keep trying. And don't ever think that you can't try something new. You can become the person that you think you could never be. And it takes courage. Remember Rabbi Soloveitchik, Zichron Livracha, when he turned 80, he reflected on this, and he said, "Im bigvurot shmonim shana," it takes courage to get old. Because even though Moshe Rabbeinu was a vigorous 80, and it was a vigorous 120 when he died, not everyone is so blessed. But that doesn't mean that a person should give up. Because, as the Rambam says in Hilchot Talmud Torah, in the laws of the study of Torah, that a man is obligated to study Torah every day. It doesn't matter whether he's poor or wealthy, whether he has to support a family, whether he is healthy or ill. Whatever situation a person finds himself in, that is the situation that God is giving that person to find a way to serve Hashem. May Hashem bless us that when whatever situation we are in, even if it is, and God have mercy on us, even if it's the only thing that we're able to do is to say, Hashem, I believe in you. Help me. Save me. Just to be able to say to Hashem, thank you for giving me this moment of life that I can connect with you. And I can make something new of every moment, no matter what the situation is. And I'm reminded, I just saw last night a story in Holy Woman by Sarah Yocheved Rigler, which she talks about Sarah, Chaya Sarah Weiser. That's her maiden name. I'm blanking for a moment on her last name. So that Chaya Sarah Kramer, who survived the Holocaust, and at the beginning of her book, Sarah Yocheved Rigler writes as follows about her first meeting with Rebbetzin Kramer. Soon we were engrossed in a conversation. She asked me about my background. I told her about the ashram, which is a story in of itself. Then I asked her about her experiences during the Holocaust, a subject with which I have always been obsessed. She described how on that first night in Auschwitz, a long-term inmate had pointed to the smoke issuing from the chimney of the crematoria and told her, "That's your parents." Nevertheless, Rebbetzin Kramer asserted, Auschwitz was not a bad place. What? I must have misunderstood. I asked her to repeat her statement. Auschwitz was not a bad place. She repeated clearly. There was a group of religious girls there. We stuck together, and all the mitzvahs that we could keep, we did keep. For example, one girl kept track of the days, so we always knew when it was Shabbos, and whenever possible, we avoided doing any forbidden work. We recited brachas over our food, meager as it was, and every morning when the guards weren't looking, we davened shacharis. The holy woman fixed her pale blue eyes on me. A bad place is a place where Jews can observe the mitzvos but don't do them. For you, the ashram was a bad place. She had just turned my whole reality upside down. A bad place had nothing to do with bad things happening to you. No matter that the Nazis had murdered her whole family, no matter No matter that Dr. Mengele had used her for his nefarious experiments, all that really matters is what issues from you. May Hashem bless us to bring the very best out of us in every situation. Shavua Tov. Amavdil ben